What's up, guys? I have 5 different species of animals in these 3 containers, and I want to show them off to you and sort of give you an idea of a few of the species that are common. One of these species is not common in our backyard, so you can look forward to that one. These are just 5 animals I found on our property today, so I guess we will start with the most common and move to the least common. So in here is probably the most common animal that we have here in that, wait, wrong box. It's in this box that we have the most common animal here. I have 2 of them, and they are, Fowler's toads. Alright, they like to pee on you, as they are doing right now. It's gross. Hey, come here. Both of these, oh jeez. See, they're a handful. But anyway, these good lord. This one's like especially hyper. She's been in the both of these are females. The way you can tell is that they have white throats. The males will have black throats. And just another way you can tell is that if it's a good sized adult like this, if it's a male and you roll it on its back, they'll usually make a squeaking noise. It's pretty cool, but these are extremely common in our backyard. I find them all the time. I find them under logs, under rocks, and we have a water feature back there that's running right now, and they breed there every year, and we'll have hundreds of tadpoles in there, and we'll have a bunch of brand new black toads crawling all over the place, so that's always cool. But as you can see, these are very hyper. So yeah, these are Fowler's toads. We have them very common. The scientific name is Bufo fowleri. Yeah, I'm a nerd. But anyway, so these are those 2. I have one more animal in here that I'm going to show a little bit later. Now the second most common animal that we have here, this might be tricky getting him out without losing him. Got him. Is this guy. This is a 5-line skink. Okay, this is a male. As you can tell, the red head. That means that they're males. The females don't have a red head. And this is an adult. Ow, they bite a lot. Like, I've literally had them hang off my finger before here. Like, they bite you a lot. Like, but then they'll calm down after a little bit. But like this is a pretty decent sized one. I mean, this is about medium size. This is average. Yeah, you really are mad at me, aren't you? But they have like a little bit of an arrow-shaped head, sort of. It's pretty cool, just because of their skeletal structure. It's not like snakes where they'll puff their heads up. This is just how their head is. But the babies have blue tails that they will drop to attract animal, like if they get attacked by, say, a hawk or something, or a raccoon or something like that, they'll run as fast as they can, and these guys can run very fast. Like, I had a very hard time catching this guy. They'll run, and the raccoon will grab it, and it'll drop its tail, and it'll run away, and the raccoon will get part of it. This is a 5-line skink, so yeah, these are extremely common here. We have them in our water feature, but they're very, very hard to catch there because of how they can just sort of dart underneath rocks that you can't move. So that's the problem with these guys. But this one I found over by our wood pile, and that's probably one of the best places to catch one of these things, because what they'll do is they'll when they see you and you come at them, they'll go underneath a log, and you can move that log. Like, you can move that log, and you can move ones around it, so it'll be easier. So once they go over under one log, you move the ones around it out of the way, so that you can just quickly move up that one log. So you move all the other ones away, and then you know he's under this log, so you lift him up and you grab him. That's probably the best way to catch these guys. But yeah, we find these all the time in our backyard, like all the time. So this is a 5-line skink. I don't know the scientific name. This guy's kind of hyper. I don't know the scientific name of this guy, but yeah. So that's this guy. Alright, now the third most common animal, at least in this selection I have, is this guy. Let's see. Stupid toad. It's this guy. Ah, come here. God, you are such a pain. Come here. It's this guy. This is a slimy salamander, and that's not just a nickname I came up with, that's the actual name of this salamander. It's called the slimy salamander, and for good reason, because these guys have like a little layer of slime on them, and if you get dirt on your hand that is mixed in with that slime, it will stay there for like weeks. Like, I have a lot of it on there, so that's going to stay there for a long time. It doesn't matter how much you wash your hands, like, that stuff stays there. But these guys are also very common. On a warm winter day, you can find these guys. Like, if you lift up a log on a warm winter day, you can find them. I've done that before. This is a fairly large one. This is about as big as I've ever found them. I've seen them just a little bit bigger than this, but this is a fairly large one. We find the babies all over the place. They have a very striking pattern. Their speckles are a lot more vibrant than these guys. But so yeah, this is the second class of amphibians we have here. We got frogs and toads, and we got salamanders. But for some reason, where we live, I have never seen any other species of salamander other than slimy salamanders. I've never seen one other species. Even in national parks, like I've actually, I take that back. I saw a what was it? I believe it was a smallmouth salamander. I saw one of those at Shelby Farms once, but other than that, I've never seen any other species of salamander here than this. So this is probably the only salamander species I'll ever see in our property, but you never know. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's an ant on the lens. I'm pretty sure you can see he's crawling on it. But yeah, anyway, this is a slimy salamander. They're extremely common. I can't really hold him for very long because I don't want my sweat to absorb in him and mess him up, so I'm gonna put him back. I have some wet leaves in here that he can sort of sit in. Now for the fourth animal, and this is a very cool animal. I love these guys. He's in a protective ball right now, but this is a juvenile speckled king snake. You'll unravel yourself there, buddy. I don't want to hurt you. This is probably the smallest king snake I've ever seen, ever. Got yourself a woman. There we go. But yeah, this is probably the smallest king snake I've ever seen in my life. Like, I've only ever seen one about as big as this one, and it was across the street from here. But yeah, I found this guy under a. Actually, my mom found him in a water bowl outside, so that's pretty cool. That was yesterday, and I released him back under a rock, and I checked again today, and one of the toads I have in here and this guy was under that rock, so that's pretty neat. King snakes, everyone pretty much knows this, but they eat venomous snakes like copperheads and timber rattlesnakes. This guy is not big enough for that, probably not yet, but snakes, good lord, flies suck. That scared me. But some people think that they only feed on venomous snakes, but that's not true. They'll feed on pretty much any other snake that's smaller than them. And one of their biggest protection maneuvers that they have is they will coil themselves in a ball, as you just saw. And they'll also, what they'll do, along with a lot of other venomous, non-venomous snakes, including venomous snakes, as a matter of fact, but like non-rattlesnake venomous snakes, like they will vibrate their tail. They'll vibrate their tail along dry leaves, and that'll make a rattlesnake sound. It's not as loud, but it makes a rattlesnake sound, like rat snakes, king snakes like this guy. All different kinds of snakes will make that. Almost all terrestrial species of snakes will make that noise. Will make the vibrating motion with their tail, but I've never seen a water snake do that for some reason. Probably because they don't live in a forest full of dry leaves. But yeah, this is a speckled king snake. A lot of people that hate snakes and want to kill all of them, which I totally disagree with, but a lot of the people that don't like snakes, this is the one snake that they'll spare because they eat venomous snakes, which is kind of sad, but even some people will kill them because it's just a snake. They don't like snakes, but there's no reason to hate snakes at all. And this snake especially, there's no reason at all to hate this guy. And as you can see, he hasn't tried to bite me once. The larger snakes, the larger king snakes, will be a little bit more aggressive when you catch them sometimes. But an interesting thing I saw about the king snakes, I caught one in our compost pile once, and I grabbed him out, and he was striking at me, but he had his mouth closed. He was just headbutting me. So that's just another reassuring fact about snakes, about king snakes. Yeah, and that's just a beautiful pattern. Look at that. This is a speckled king snake. As you can see, all those yellow speckles on top of the black, and the belly pattern. It's very pretty. But I'd say this is fresh this year because this is pretty much as small as they get, almost. Maybe a few inches, maybe like an inch or two smaller, but I'd say this is a fresh newborn this year. So this is like the most common snake we find in our backyard. And so, yes, that is a speckled king snake. I'll do a video in the future on how to tell the difference between venomous and non-venomous snakes. Like, I'll have an entire section, I'll have an entire video dedicated to that, but I'm not going to explain it right now. But I'll make a video in the future about that because that would be interesting. But here's speckled king snake. That's a very common species. So he has his own box. Okay, last animal. This is a very, very special animal, at least in our backyard. This is a very, very special animal that I just found in my backyard, so here we go. And before you're thinking, this isn't a tortoise. This is not a tortoise. This is a turtle. This is a true turtle. And it is a map turtle. I don't know exactly which species it is, but it's a map turtle. And I have no idea how he found his way into our backyard. I found him underneath a black pipe that I will flip up, but this is a very, very special find. He's hiding in his shell right now, but if I fumble with him, he'll probably, if I just leave him alone, he probably will come back out. But isn't he adorable? He's so small. I also think that this is probably a newborn this year, but let's see if I can make him come out. Yep, there's his foot. Come on, buddy. But yeah, isn't he so cute with his little feet? This guy is not biting, which is kind of weird because true turtles typically like to bite people. Typically like to bite you. I believe the reason why they call them map turtles is because of the design on the bottom of their shell. That's very unscientific, I know. I can't remember the name of it, but I think the reason why they call them map turtles is because of that design on the bottom of their shell. And another way you can identify these opposed to red-eared sliders and stuff like that is that little spike up on their shell. Red-eared sliders will have more of a flat carapace, I believe that's what it's called. I might be wrong. That might be the bottom. But the dome of their shell will be flat. But on these, they will be sort of in a point shape, as you can see. And of course, the red flag to tell the difference between these and sliders are that these will not have the red ears. I haven't gotten to seeing that, but I know that this is a map turtle. I mean, isn't that just beautiful? Look at that! Look at that pattern on their shell, on its shell. I mean, that's just amazing. He's a little bit covered in dirt right now, but the top of his shell wouldn't really be that much more interesting if it were for if it weren't for the dirt. But even without the dirt, his shell wouldn't be that interesting, at least the top. But yeah, this is a very rare find in our backyard. Like I have no idea how he got here. But a few years back, we saw a red-eared slider right over there in the foresty part of our backyard, and we have no idea. Like he was a long way away from a large source of water. But I took him to the pond of the neighborhood, and I let him go there because I'm pretty sure he wouldn't like it here in our backyard. But yeah, I'm just gonna let him go back in our back by the black tube because something tells me that he belongs there. He had a reason for being there. So, yeah, all these animals I'm gonna release back where I found them because that's just what you do. I mean, I don't keep wild animals because the wild's where they belong. It's like someone taking me from our home and putting me out in the wild. I wouldn't mind that much, but it's not where I belong. I belong in our home. I've always wondered what it would be like to just like go out in the woods with nothing except for the clothes on your back and see how long I would last. And I think I would do okay for a few days at least. The biggest problem I would have would probably be starting a fire and getting food because I'd have such a hard time killing animals. And I suck at identifying plants, so. But anyway, off of that topic, this is a very rare turtle to find in our backyard, and I was very lucky to find him today. So yep, this is a map turtle of some sort. I don't know which species, but yeah, there's only a few that lives here. So yep, that's him. And that's everyone. Just a little recap of all the animals I brought. Fowler's toad, 5-line skink, slimy salamander, hold on, I don't think you want to see this. I think that'll discipline him a little bit. Or her. I'm just kidding, I didn't actually hit him. Speckled king snake. And last but not least, map turtle. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm thinking of making this a series because there's still a lot of animals that I'd like to show you that I didn't find today. I'll make a list of the animals that you may expect in the future. You may not, I don't know. Just depends on what I find, if it's a good day or not. But yeah, that's the 5 species for today, and if I get lucky, you should expect more soon. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.